Oh, let me turn mine.
What's up, guys? We are back. Jimmy's trying to talk in the intro here, man. What are you doing? My phone's ringing. What's going on today? We're off track on this one. But guys, what's up? Fitness Profit Multiplier, Anthony and Jimmy here. Today we're going to be talking about all fitness marketing BS. It's all baloney, malarkey. I like that word, malarkey. It's a funny word. It always makes me laugh. But it's all BS, guys. People will tout marketing. Got to do marketing. You got to market your gym better. You got to market. It's all BS, and we are going to explain why. And actually, I want to give some credit to where credit is due. I actually kind of figured this and stumbled upon this because of this guy over here. You know, he really pushed on me the idea that we're going to talk about today. Which, should I give it away or should we hold off a little bit? The suspense.
We're holding this suspense. We give it away. I always give shit away, you know.
So the main thing is gonna obviously. What are you drinking? A beer, man?
No, it's a go. Oh,
no, don't show it. Yeah, good product placement. It's not a beer, guys. It's not a beer. It's a product that we don't sell. So no product placement on this. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, you probably got a good kick out of that one. But. So this thing that I actually learned and realized how important it was to grow my business, because it was one of those levers that I could control as much as possible, is learning a paid acquisition strategy. I came from growing my business, and I grew it significantly well with organic means, organic posting, referrals, and doing those things really well. That's how I grew my business. And people will tout and talk about marketing all the time. Like, need to be email marketing, do this, do that, do this, do that. But nothing works like a paid acquisition strategy. All real business use paid acquisition strategies. And for the longest time, I used to think that a fitness business wasn't a real business. I'm just a personal trainer. I train people, and it wasn't until I finally learned the ins and outs of business that I was able to realize, like, okay, this is a system, but every real business uses a paid acquisition strategy to acquire clients. All real businesses know their numbers. How much does it cost to acquire a client? What's the lifetime value of a client? These are all the things that are very important. And marketing is marketing is important, but everything that these guys tout to you is all BS. So that paid client acquisition strategy is the most important thing. If you figure that out, that's the most important element you need to grow your business.
Exactly. And when we look at every person out there that says, oh, well, you know, you look at all these things and all these guys are like, well, you have to have marketing message match with your ideal client and all these sayings and this and this and that. And I'm like, our ideal client is a woman over 40 within 6 miles of our facility, right? Any woman over 40 within 6 miles of our facility. It's not a woman that's done personal training before or not, because you could help those people just the same. Maybe somebody who's done personal training before is more of a easier sell, right? But you want your message to go out to, you know, some percentage male, like typically what we find is 75% female and the rest male marketing messages, right? And the wording is going to be a little different. The colors might be a little different depending on if you're going male or female, right? But when we look at it, people will talk about, oh, well, your marketing is so important because the message has to match your ideal avatar and all this stuff. And we talked about that on another podcast, like you shouldn't be posting shirtless pictures of yourself and like that kind of thing. But in all reality, you need to simplify the process in your mind, right? It's a paid marketing strategy that can allow you to acquire clients at a profit and continue to put more money into that avenue until it either breaks your system or your gym is full, right? Sometimes you got to mess with the software a bit because it gets screwy on you. But that's why us as owners are in that system all the time and like making sure it's working properly. But push more budget until it breaks the system or your gym is full. And it's that simple, really, guys.
But it's not as simple. See, like it is that simple, which is like when people hear this, they're like, oh, this is bullshit. It's no way. It's not that simple. It's simple, but it's not that simple. That's the strategy, but it's not that simple, because on the back end of it, you have to do a lot of work. That work is, you know, picking up the phone and dialing, That's the work. And no one wants to do that. But that's what separates $1 million gym from a $20,000 a month gym. That's the difference, is picking up the phone, dialing, nailing down your sales stuff, nailing down your scripts, nailing down your frameworks, nailing down the objections, nailing down all those things that these people are going to say to you over the phone. Because remember, it's not as simple as throwing money at Facebook and walking away and putting your hands in your pocket and saying, I'm using a paid acquisition strategy. No, you're dumping money into something and you don't even know your returns. Got to know your numbers, and you got to have the back end system down. If you don't have that back end system down, do not do this. This is not going to work. But remember, you'll get to the point where your gym will be so much like full that you're not going to be able to do anything else organically. Referrals, website, whatever else. That only works to a certain point. And then you get to that point where you're churning more people than are coming in. Now you need a strategy to really push that. And the way you do that is with a paid strategy, because then you can keep getting people in on a reliable basis. So for example, I used my website as a long time, was one of my poles in the water. It's still a pole in my water. It's still very important. But there's nothing I could do to add fuel to that fire. Like, yes, my website's cranking. I'm getting a lot of leads every month from my website, right? Excellent. Now, how do I double my business? You can't. You have to have another pole in the water, right? If that's the case, you can't keep running on that one pole because it's just maxed out. It can only handle a certain amount. So then you have to use a different one, and then you have to have another one. And that's why all these guys talk about marketing. Oh, you gotta have this, and you gotta do that, and email and this, and none of that stuff matters, because again, you can only get to a certain point. Even if email marketing is working really well for you, how do you make it work better? Okay, you send more emails, but then you reach the point of saturation on your list where you only have a certain amount of people on your list. So you have to get new people on the list, and that takes time. But with a paid acquisition strategy, that happens a lot faster. You can move that ball a lot quicker. And guys, I have my back end system. It's dialed in. It's pretty good. You know, I'm confident in our ability on the back end. But even still, I get afraid to keep dumping more and more money into it, because it's money. It's money. It's tough. You have to have balls of steel, so to say, to just keep throwing down money. I mean, the big guy on the other end of this, he's doing $150 a day on ads. That's a lot of cash to be throwing at these ads. But this is why he's at the level that he's at. You know, I'm doing a lot less than that, but it's still higher than if I would have told myself a year ago how much I'm spending every day now versus then, I would throw up. But you have to have that idea in place. So just remember, guys, that back end system has to be nailed down, because if it is, then it's a reliable system. In order to grow, you need a reliable system.
Yep. And it's as simple as, I mean, I'm glad that you saved our listeners there, because I was like, it's simple, just put money in ads, it's fine. but Anthony is 100% right. Like, yes, there's a lot more to it than just putting money in ads. And there's plenty of times when in the beginning, I would put money into ads and I'd be like, why isn't this working? This is not making any sense, right? And there were plenty of struggle years that I had trying to figure this out, right? But once you really see the light, it's like your blinders have been taken off and you're just like, oh, this is much more simple than I had originally anticipated. I thought I had to have the perfect message and the perfect image and the perfect this and that and that. And it's like, no, you just look at the numbers and you put some shit up there and you go, oh, well, if I acquire a client for X, right, and that either matches or beats my upfront acquisition, like, then you keep running it, right? As long as your ad dollars pay for themselves on the front end, spend more and spend more and spend more and spend more, because over time you grow. There are businesses out there that know that they're going to give you something so cheap in the beginning. These are giant businesses, right? They're going to give you something so cheap in the beginning of your engagement with the company, because they know that they can eat the cost of giving you that product for months before you actually become a paying member. There's big companies that do this because their pockets are so deep. right? Our pockets aren't as deep as independent gym owners, but you have to look at the numbers of your paid strategy. And once you figure out the numbers of your paid strategy, then you're solid, right? If it takes, let's just say, for example, right, it costs you $20 a lead on Facebook, let's just say. And we've kind of gone over these numbers before, but just so the guys have a framework, right? Say it costs you $20 a lead, right? And let's say you're running a front end strategy, okay? So your front end strategy is $400 for the first month, all right? If you're closing 10% of your Facebook leads, you're 2xing your ad spend, right? So you're making 2 times the ad spend within the first couple of days, right? If you're spending enough money, you're getting enough leads per day, right? And if that math makes sense to you guys, right? Because your client acquisition is $200, because it's $20, 1 out of every 10 becomes a client. Your client acquisition cost is $200 and you're charging them $400 on the front. So in the first month, you've already made $200 off that person. I make that bet every day and twice on Sunday. So that's why I just keep pushing money into Facebook, because I check the numbers. I go, is my acquisition from lead to client on Facebook 10% or more? And as long as it is, here's Zuckerberg, have more of my dollars, buddy. You know, I'm making, we're not making Zucks rich by individually, but all of us are.
And again, that's how you can grow and expand really quick, because now you could just keep throwing money on it, but you have to have it down, like what Jimmy just said, like in his case. And again, there's always going to be things that you need to do on the other end of it, right? You always need to, okay, my ad cost is getting too high, so I need to tweak things. Like, it's not easy at all. You know, maybe you're not closing at that 10%. Jimmy's saying 10%. Maybe you're not, right? Maybe you're not. And then you got to look at, okay, why am I not closing at 10%? Am I getting on the phone with them? Am I not getting on the phone with them? It's market dependent too. Something that works well for Jimmy might not work well for me. We've ran the same ad and we got 2 different results doing it. So, you know, you have to just play with those numbers. But the things that I would say, you know, when people say marketing and whatever, the things that you do need in your business, the 2 poles that you should be having and you should focus on, other than this paid acquisition strategy we're talking about, is having a really, really good website and referrals. Dial those 2 systems in, then add that marketing, that, you know, automatic, like the one we're talking about today, add that system in there, and you have 3 very, very strong poles in the water to reel those fish in all day. And those 3 poles are the best ones you could use to grow your gym. Everything else everyone says is all hogwash, so to say. You're going to get joint ventures are good. You'll get a trickle of people in from here, a trickle from there, but I can't live off a drip. I can't live off a drip. I need a flood. I need a flood of people in the gym all the time, you know, making sure that that system is. And again, go back and listen to the other episodes, because there's other things that you can do to pull more levers to get your gym to grow faster. And that's focusing on that leaky bucket, which we spoke about in other episodes. You guys can go back and listen to that. But paid acquisition strategy, guys, it's really that is the one piece that will separate you from everybody else. If you can acquire those customers much cheaper than everybody else and outspend them, you're good. Don't be like the Gold's Gym that loses money on a client for 6 months before they actually start making that money back. 6 months. We can't do that, guys. We're not in that business. We have to be able to make our money back in that first month and be profitable in the next. So as long as you can do that, like Jimmy said, every day and twice on Sundays. All right, guys, if you guys are interested in having us help you walk through some of these issues, just click that link below and book your call with us. We'll hop on, and no sales. We'll just literally talk to you and help you out. We love doing this. This is literally, I get on the phone with Jimmy all the time and we discuss just business. I don't think I've asked him anything what's going on personal in months. And it's cool. It's cool. We don't, one thing about me and Jimmy is we both have lives outside of this, but everything still revolves around this, which is actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, click that link below and we'll catch you guys on that next one.